I'm gonna keep it all the way real on this podcast today because I am pissed. Robin admitting that she hid her story from the world on the show that pays you is a slap in the face to everyone involved, including the audience. And the fact that you have the audacity to go on your podcast to reveal this. We spent this entire half-assed season with these made-up storylines about Chris Bassett. And yes, I'm going to say made up because I allegedly was told that a few of the housewives had a meeting before filming about what the storyline was going to be and that this Chris Bassett stuff was part of that conversation. I've always said there was something off about this season, and now I know what it is. None of y'all are living your real life.
LaTisha Scott has revealed the ultimate story twist at the age of 45 after years of being marginalized, publicly humiliated, and living in the background of her own marriage. Marsau, too, it caught him off guard. LaTisha left the courtroom with a significant victory, shocking the entire love and marriage Huntsville fandom. To put it mildly, Marsau appeared completely taken aback. The queen has entered her reign of power, so fasten your seatbelt. Love and marriage. Huntsville has always had a lot of drama. However, the conflict between LaTisha and Marsau Scott is much more than just a reality TV show. This is not simply another argument on social media or on-screen altercation. Fans, reviewers, and even the cast are in complete shock at a legal battle that has been building for years. We are delving deeply into how LaTisha Scott, the lady who used to stand silently next to her vocal husband, ultimately changed the course of events in this film. What precisely was the outcome of her legal case? Why did Marsau get caught completely off guard? What caused the drastic change in the roles? We are covering every aspect of this complex scenario, from rumors about control and financial freedom to property disputes and corporate ownership drama. Inside the courtroom, you will hear the backstory, the build-up, and the detailed information that has everyone talking. The final surprise in this story is something no one anticipated, so be sure to stay tuned until the very end. Ready? Let us go into the specifics of how LaTisha regained her authority and left Marsau utterly stunned. LaTisha and Marsau Scott appeared to be the ideal power couple at first impression. They were successful, well-educated, polished, and united in almost all of Love and Marriage, Huntsville's episodes. As Marsau confidently strutted as a businessman with a plan, viewers watched as LaTisha played the part of the loving mother and wife. Together, they started a black cigar lounge, owned real estate, and established an unstoppable brand. Fans began to notice the fractures, though, as the cameras rolled. LaTisha was obviously becoming restless behind the well-curated family pictures and Instagram postings. The subtle and occasionally not so subtle instances of her being sidelined, interrupted, or rejected during conversations, especially those pertaining to business, became unavoidable over time. People started to wonder if LaTisha was being intentionally kept in the dark because of Marsau's domineering demeanor, his contempt for her goals, or his unwillingness to provide complete financial openness. When suspicions of adultery started to circulate, the situation became even more chaotic. LaTisha's increasing annoyance appeared to reflect a woman who was not just hurt, but had reached a breaking point, notwithstanding Marsau's repeated denials that he had left the marriage. Furthermore, that breaking point was not noisy or explosive. It was calculated. Since Marsau misjudged her, LaTisha was quietly accumulating evidence, strengthening her case, and getting ready for a legal maneuver that would completely change their relationship. However, what precisely set off this transition from tacit strength to confrontation in court? LaTisha Scott was known for years as Marsau's wife, not because she was unqualified, but rather because she frequently supported him when he made decisions. But many people were unaware of this. LaTisha has a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in real estate development. She is not a beginner. The fact that she is a boss in her own right made the subsequent events much more offensive. There were rumors that Marsau had been handling significant financial decisions, such as commercial transactions, loans, and asset management related to their joint real estate holdings, without LaTisha complete knowledge. Insider rumors claimed that LaTisha was unaware of her personal interest in their properties because some of those assets were discreetly moved. LaTisha questioned what else Marsau had been concealing while he made the public declaration that everything was under control. Meanwhile, viewers started to notice that LaTisha had changed. She stopped being shy and began to pose challenging questions on television. Her manner was more calculating, her tone sharper, and viewers realized something significant was about to happen when she started speaking with attorneys off-screen. LaTisha had filed a motion to audit their joint assets, citing a lack of control and transparency over the couple's joint businesses, according to recently made public court filings. It is obvious that Marsau was not prepared for the legal mayhem that resulted from that one move. The courtroom discussions were tense, according to those familiar with the matter, as LaTisha produced documents indicating Marsau had taken important financial decisions without her approval, possibly in violation of state marital asset rules as well as trust regulations. Even more startling, LaTisha was able to demonstrate it. This was more than just a case of miscommunication in the marriage. It has to do with financial treachery. Additionally, money is crucial in the realm of reality TV and power couples. However, that is not even the most juicy aspect. The courtroom was filled with tension, stillness, and the weight of years of secrets suddenly coming to light, not with reporters or paparazzi. LaTisha Scott was more than simply a wife and reality star when she walked into the courtroom that morning. She was a woman on a quest to recover her voice, her worth, and her just portion of everything she contributed to. LaTisha's legal team arrived well prepared, according to insiders and court records that were leaked. They arrived bearing binders of financial documents, contract information, and timeline inconsistencies that purportedly showed Marsau moving business assets behind closed doors. One significant charge was that, despite the fact that the initial investment originated from a joint account, Marsau had transferred ownership of a significant real estate property to another LLC, in which LaTisha was not named as a partner. The story did not end there. When LaTisha's lawyer produced signed agreements and email chains that directly contradicted comments Marsau had made under oath in previous depositions, it was one of the biggest bombshells. The room became silent. The difference in the air was palpable. Normally cool and collected, Marsau was clearly rattled. He was characterized by witnesses as being unprepared, aggressive, and unusually defensive. Additionally, Marsau apparently stammered through his responses when the judge directly questioned him regarding inconsistencies in the documentation. The tide had changed in the law. The most astounding moment, though, the judge's decision. The court decided in favor of LaTisha in what many are referring to as a landmark decision in the reality TV industry. She was given temporary control over two of their jointly owned real estate companies until a final asset division could be decided, in addition to access to a complete financial audit of all business entities connected to Marsau. It was a huge move. Not only did it send a message to Marsau, but it also sent a message to all partners who believe they can outmaneuver someone they have built an empire with. Online, fans exploded. Reactions erupted in Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter threads. It was referred to as justice by some. Others were surprised that the always composed LaTisha had taken such a daring and calculated legal action. One thing, nevertheless, was universally accepted. She had been underestimated by Marsau. Rumors circulated that a mystery witness, who had extensive knowledge of the Scotts' financial dealings, had been subpoenaed to appear at the upcoming hearing, just when everyone believed the drama had reached its climax. Some people think it might be a former business associate. Others believe it is a family member who is prepared to stand up. LaTisha Scott has transitioned into a whole different role after years of portraying the obedient wife on screen, running the company behind the scenes, and gracefully and poisedly dismissing inquiries about her marriage. She is a power player in her own right, in addition to being a businesswoman. Fans saw minor but noticeable changes in LaTisha's on-screen and off-screen persona after her court victory. The woman who avoided facing difficult realities in interviews or deferred to Marsau in boardroom moments was no longer there. She was replaced by a self-assured, aggressive LaTisha who was finally voicing her opinions and correcting the record. Let us face it, for years, people questioned if LaTisha really grasped the extent of the companies she and Marsau had established. She was merely a passenger, according to critics. However, sources claim that LaTisha had always played a significant role in management, strategy, and decision-making. LaTisha made it clear in an exclusive video from her most recent podcast appearance that you can be devoted and intelligent and still be taken advantage of. However, once you are awake, you cannot go back to sleep. The message was evident, even though she did not specifically mention Marsau. Fans were all for it, and comments were pouring in, complimenting her guts, her unreserved ambition, and her glow-up. LaTisha has always been the brains. Marsau just had the louder mouth, one fan said. She is winning in life, not only in court, according to another. However, this change in power has had significant repercussions behind the scenes. According to people close to the couple, Marsau and LaTisha disagreements have gotten worse due to LaTisha's increased public assertiveness as well as the courtroom setback. Rumor has it that Marsau never thought LaTisha would challenge him in court, much less prevail. Additionally, he is apparently rushing to reclaim authority at home and in the boardroom now that she is acting on her own initiative. Even more startling is the fact that some supporters say they have seen Marsau attending meetings with a new legal team, raising the possibility that he is getting ready for a more serious legal dispute, or even the dissolution of his wife and business. That would entail splitting brand identities in addition to assets. Furthermore, Marsau may not win this time. Huntsville, what about marriage and love? The show's power dynamics are also changing. According to insiders, storylines are already being rewritten by producers to emphasize LaTisha's career decisions and emotional journey. Viewers are fed up with Marsau controlling the story, according to one producer. It is time to reveal LaTisha's true nature. LaTisha may even be in negotiations to start a spin-off series about female entrepreneurs who have overcome betrayal and established empires, according to some fans. One thing is certain, whether a spin-off occurs or not. LaTisha is no longer a shadow of anyone. Do not get it wrong, though. The drama is not over just because she is becoming more popular. According to recent rumors from close acquaintances, Marsau may be preparing a highly visible counterattack to LaTisha's court victory that includes disclosing his own receipts. Marsau Scott began to move in silence, just as everyone believed LaTisha Scott had finally turned the page and stepped completely into her power. But with intent, the murmurs are growing louder now. Marsau will not be defeated easily. According to people close to Marsau, he has been working in secret with a new group of advisors, legal consultants, and even a media strategist. Since LaTisha's spectacular legal triumph and the outpouring of public support she has received, you read correctly, a media strategist, which raises the question, is Marsau going to reveal his personal problems? Marsau is said to have assembled a digital folder with background information, invoices, and explanations about their marriage, money, and business transactions. He wants to correct the record, even if it means getting messy, because he believes the public is only hearing LaTisha's side of the story, according to a source with knowledge of the matter. Let us examine what that could entail. To begin with, there have been long-standing rumors that Marsau's experience in real estate and construction gave him an advantage in their joint ventures. According to reports, LaTisha was more concerned with operations and branding, while he managed most of the contracts and real estate purchases. Marsau's new boss lady narrative might be severely harmed if he actually has records demonstrating that he created the empire with little help from LaTisha. That is not all, though. According to rumors, Marsau might also be retaining bank documents,